could have the best offer in your space, a great podcast, a solid reputation, years of massive experience, and still nobody's buying. Not because your offer is bad, not because the market is oversaturated, not because you need a better funnel. It's because nobody knows what you actually do. And I don't mean they haven't heard of you. I mean, they've seen your content, followed your page, maybe even listened to your show, and they still can't tell someone else what you do in one sentence. Now that's a problem. And it's costing you clients every single week. Now stay with me, because by the end of this video today, you're going to know exactly why this is happening and exactly how to fix the problem right now. Hey, yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, Anthony Porter, founder of Podcast for Profits, where I help coaches, consultants, and service providers turn their podcast into a client-generating machine. I work with people who have already created the content, they're showing up, they're consistent, they're putting in the work, but their clients aren't coming. And 9 times out of 10, it comes back to the same thing. Message clarity. So if you've been posting, podcasting, and creating content, but still wondering why nobody's reaching out to work with you, this is the video you need to sit back, because this video right here is one you needed to find. Now, here's what most coaches and consultants believe. If I just post more content, people will figure it out and figure out what to do. No, they won't. That's absurd. Your audience is not just sitting there trying to decode your brand. They're scrolling, fast, distracted, overwhelmed. You have about 3 to 5 seconds to make them feel something, or they out of here. Vamoose. They gone. And if your message isn't crystal clear, the moment they land on your content, they out, they gone, they move on. That mistake is what I see everybody doing, and that's what's confusing most of the people who land on your page. The activity, the clarity is just not correct. Posting is not the same as communicating. You can post every single day and still have a blurred line, because the problem isn't the volume of content. The problem is that your content isn't speaking to everyone, which means it's landing with no one. When you talk to everyone, your message dilutes. When your message dilutes, your authority disappears. And trust me, when your authority disappears, your clients are gone with it. That's the circle. And it's invisible until someone shows you exactly what you need to do. Guess who that someone is? It's me, man. I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm showing it to you right single now. All right. So we got to get into what the framework and the breakdown is. So here's how to fix it. I call this my magnetic messaging framework. Now, I actually learned this from studying the guys over at Samcart, okay? And it's around 5 clarity moves that will make your ideal client see your content and immediately think, this is for me. See, when you're dealing with a podcast, you come up with these topics, but the topics can be topics that everyone is listening to or see on TV and Google. But if you don't have that magnetic messaging, then guess what? You're just a blue fish in a blue ocean instead of a red fish in the blue ocean. So let's break this down in steps, all right? So I said we got 5 of them. Let's get into it. Step number 1, lock in your one person. See, that's the equivalent to saying this. Most people say, I help entrepreneurs, or I work with small business owners. That's not the audience. That's a category. You need to get down to just one person, not the demographic, but a human being. And when you get down to that human being, you need to do this right here. It says, what do they do for work? What keeps them up at night? What have they already tried and it didn't work? And what do you actually want them to feel? See, this exercise here, when you first start out, will have you deep inside the mind of the ideal client that you want to serve. Now, when you can see that one person clearly, your content starts speaking directly to them. Okay? And here's a counterintuitive part. More specific that you get, the more people you're actually going to attract, because being specific creates recognition. All right, people don't say that's for me when they see a generic piece of content. They say it when the content sounds like they're reading, like you're reading a journal, like something they have written in and written down in their journal. And it's like they looking at you like, are you in my room? So those are the things that you need to do. You need to really tap in. The crazy part about that is you don't want to seem like you stalking, but it's almost like you stalking the personality. And it's crazy because we don't want that. We don't want you to actually go out and do nothing crazy. So please believe me when I tell you that. We want you to visualize a fictitious person and build it out just like that, all right? And so now let's get into step number 2. Step number 2 is build you a 1-sentence message. So you're probably thinking, what does a 1-sentence message have to do with anything? Well, if someone asks your ideal client what you do, could they answer it in 1 sentence? Not a paragraph, 1 sentence. So over here, we use a formula, and this is how this formula works. So, Mike, if you got a time to just, hit pause, grab a pen, come back, write this down. I help who struggle with the pain achieve an outcome without objective. All right. So, again, I help who's in brackets, struggle with the pain, that's another one in brackets, achieve an outcome that's in a bracket without objectives, that's in brackets, excuse me. And so everything you create, every podcast episode, every reel, every post, you should be able to trace back to that 1 sentence. If it can't be done, you're diluting your message. Your 1-sentence message is the anchor. It's the building block. It's the foundation to almost every single piece of content that you create. All right, so you got to be able to break that down. Number 3, you need to pick one problem and own it. Not a bunch of problems, man. You need to pick one simple problem. Your problem solves a lot of problems. That's not the way it goes. You probably have tried to solve a lot of problems. That's not the way it goes. Pick one. Now, this is not a forever thing just for right now. This is the season of your brand. We need to make sure that this season is where we're at. So don't go and try to solve a problem for December. Here we are in April. This is the problem you want to solve, and this is the season that we in, okay? The coaches and consultants who win are not the ones who can solve the most problems. They are the ones who become synonymous with just solving one simple problem. Think about it like this in your audience's perspective. When someone in your niche asks that specific problem, your name should be the first thing that comes out of everybody's brain cells. It should be spilling out of their ears onto the table and being like, hey man, y'all need to go holler at such and such, or because he's doing a great job, or you need to go over here and talk to Miss such and such because she's outstanding at solving this issue. That's called owning the problem. And it's how you become the go-to person in your niche. You don't want to be the option. You want to be the first round pick. You want to be that person that everyone is thinking about on draft day. All right. Step number 4, let's make every piece of content speak to that problem. This has to resonate with what we've talked about so far in the other 3 steps. This is where most people fall apart. They'll do one good piece of content about their specific core problem, and then 3 posts later, they're talking about something completely unrelated. All right. Your content is a conversation, and conversations that jump topics lose traction fast. All right. And you don't want to lose traction, because when you lose traction, you lose trust. So what you want to do is you want to name the problem your audience has, show why that problem exists, teach one piece of that solution, or invite them to take the next step with you. That's it. That's the content playbook. Every episode of your podcast, every reel, every email, filter it through those 4 questions, and you should be perfectly fine, man. I'm telling you, you should, in my words, I call it, you should be Gucci. All right. Now, step number 5, you want to do this. You want to give them a clear next step every single time. This is the one people skip the most, because guess what? They don't understand it. They create great content, man. People get value, and then there's nothing else. No next step, no direction, no invitation. Your audience doesn't know what to do with the value unless you tell them. All right. Every piece of content needs a call to action that points them to the next move. Right now, guess what mine is? Once you get through with this video, in the show notes or the show description below, I want you to click the link below and grab that client generating podcast blueprint. It's that free resource. It's a step-by-step guide that shows you how to set up your podcast so it actually attracts clients, not just listeners. If you haven't grabbed it, the link is of course going to be in the description below. It's free. It's the starting point. But that point is your content must always have direction, a destination. If it doesn't, you're educating people and sending them back into the wild to help who? Zero. Nobody. Zilch. Now, let's talk about this. We got to have a mindset shift. And so here's the real shift I want you to take and make happen today. Stop thinking your content is content. Start thinking of it as a conversation with your next client, because that's what it is. Every podcast episode, every reel, every post, that's the conversation. That's the perfect way to get started. If they don't trust you, they don't buy from you. If they don't buy from you, you still broke like everybody else. Clarity isn't a branding exercise. It's a revenue strategy. The coaches and consultants making constant money from their content are the ones with the most followers. We just gonna keep it a buck. Now, they're the ones with the clearest message. They've done the work to answer one question inside of every piece of content. What do I do and who is this for? And when that's clear, and when the answer is clear, content stops being a chore and starts being a machine. All right, that's the move. That's the game plan. We don't just create content for the algorithm. We turn conversations into what we call currency. Now, I need you to take some action steps, because today is when you start doing what you need to do to be successful. 3 things I need you to do today, not this week, but today. Number 1, write your 1-sentence message. Use the formula, I help who struggle with pain achieve outcome without objective. Write it in your own voice. All right, don't overthink it. Just write it out. You can always refine it, but get the first draft on paper within the next 10 minutes. Number 2, audit your last 5 pieces of content. Posts, reels, stories, shorts, audit them. Pull up the last 5 posts, episodes, or videos. Ask yourself, does each one speak directly to one person with the one person sentence message? If it doesn't, that's the leak. That's where the message is getting muddy. All right. And then number 3, grab the client generating podcast blueprint. It's in the description. It's free. There's nothing better than a free resource. All right. Grab it. It's the resource that builds that I had to build to help you set up your show and actually start getting the clients those generating clients. Not just a hobby, not for downloads, but to make sure that you start your podcast and start implementing things the right way. 3 moves, do them today. All right, that's it. Now, here's what I need you to understand. Before you tap away from the video, fix your messaging in 1 step. But step 1 only works if your content is actually doing something once people see what it is that you want them to see. And that's exactly what the next video is going to be about. Because here's what I see happening all the time. People get clear on their message. They start posting with intent, and still the content doesn't convert. Why? Because the clarity itself is necessary. I mean, we just got to keep it a buck, but it's not enough. In the next video, I will break down the exact reason your content isn't converting into clients, even when it's getting views, and the 3 structural fixes that changed everything for me and my podcast. All right. You don't want to skip that one. I'll see you in the next one, man. If you're ready to turn your conversations into currency, make sure you subscribe to the Podcast for Profits TV in the description. And I'll see you on the next episode, man. We out of here.